I gotta come clean. This channel is just a diary of most of the anime I've been watching in an attempt to catch up with the many years of content I've missed out on. But it can be hard watching a full season of anime just for a video, especially when they're really bad. So sometimes I need a way to bumble my way through way more shows in a manner that lets me rapidly weed out what I assume will be good and bad via a set of arbitrary rules that this community uses every 3 months or so. Enter the seasonal video. That's right, the long-awaited sequel is here. See, I've missed way too much to waste my time watching what's new. No, I'm the brave soul who is willing to look back through the power of hindsight and make fun of your childhood favorites for not holding up as well as you'd hope they would. Now, since this isn't your typical seasonal review, we're gonna have to warp these rules a little bit here. Rule 1. Given that I'll be running into a lot of shows that I've heard about, I'll only be watching 2 to 3 episodes of each of the shows as both a time-saving measure and to make this as much like a typical seasonal video as I can. At the end, weighing what I've seen and what I've heard over the years, I'll say whether or not I'd be interested in continuing the series. Rule 2. I'll be skipping over the stuff most people would, toy-based shonen, children's shows, etc., and anything else I don't think would be fascinating. Rule 3. I won't be skipping over sequels just because I think it'll be funnier to be dropped into something at the middle of a story. Rule 4. Seasons will be picked at random, or at random by my friends. So, what's our season this time? Alright, what's first on our list? Yeah, that's a good place to start. What is there to say about Kill la Kill that hasn't already been said? It's a 10 out of 10. It's bombastic, fun, funny, and absurd in all the best ways. One of only 2 shows from this season I've actually finished, I feel that dwelling on it would lead to a more confused endorsement than simply stating that it's peak anime. If you've somehow never seen this show, fix that immediately. As for a show that may need a bit more of a sell, look no further than Kyousougiga. This is a show that does not know how to sit still. Every shot is lively, vibrant, and filled with character. The dialogue is quick and witty, the animation is a visual feast of wild movement, and don't get me started on the colors. The preview episode is a stunning display of style, and the first proper episode is a beautiful showing of the substance supporting it with a brilliantly bittersweet tale to draw you in. Also, it was directed by the director of Kekai Sensen, which is probably worth something, but I wouldn't know because I haven't seen it. She also directed that awesome Pokemon music video, which I can say is just as rad. But I'm gonna stop after just those 2 episodes because I know I'll be finishing this show later. Don't talk about capitalism, don't talk about capitalism, don't talk about capitalism! Look, Yusibu is really just kind of a 6 out of 10 experience. I like it, but that's for reasons well beyond the surface level and may just be my own insanity and overanalyzing. If you want to know my full thoughts on the show, here's my 16-minute video where I talk about its anti-capitalist messaging. Honestly, just watching that video will be much more worth your time than watching the whole show. Nagi no Asukara. Now here's a show that took 2 seconds for me to be on board with. I love swimming and being in the water, so the concept of getting to just be a whole society in the ocean among the fish is all it took for me to want to watch more. Other than cool Atlantis culture, the rest of the show seems to be a fun little romantic teen drama as the kids reconcile their new emotions for one another and also the racism that comes with trying to get along with the coastal land dwellers. There's some Romeo and Juliet vibes thrown in with a spicy love triangle / square. I can just tell this is one of those series that either will pull you in very hard or bounce you off very hard. Thankfully, I like drama, oceans, weird fictional cultures, and fish, so I'm definitely in the former. I get that Beyond the Boundary is considered to be the forgettable KyoAni show because it's action, but hey, I like it. I actually started it a while back, but I'll admit I haven't finished it. Though that's more because somebody told me to watch it for trash talk and it was actually good, so I had to stop to watch something else.
Why are you running away from me? I'm not running away! This is a tactical retreat!
The premise isn't too wild for an action anime. Spirit world warriors hunting down invisible monsters, a complicated hidden society based around that, and a cursed girl outcast for her cool powers. but its strengths come from all the characters and interactions around the action. The relationships between the main 4 characters are entertaining to watch, even if one of them is a siscon. Though he's also kinda gay with Akihito, so I'll let the bi-siscon slide. Oh, and the OP and ED? Bangers. Being Kyo Annie, it is obviously gorgeous, and the action is incredibly animated and choreographed. Though the strongest point is definitely the more tame slice of life segments. Also, I'm gonna be real, I like the dub. It's funny and goofy.
It's dark! Senpai, what did you do?
You're wearing a bucket.
Oh.
Bottom line, Kuriyama is adorable, and Akihito is right. Glasses are cute as hell. Samurai Flamenco. Oh boy! This show. Another series I watched most of, but just didn't finish for whatever reason. I love it, don't get me wrong, but it can get a bit tiring when it basically reaches a climax and ends about 5 different times. For the sake of the video's theme, I won't talk about anything too far in, outside of saying you shouldn't let the first few episodes' vibes deceive you into thinking that's what the whole show is gonna be. It gets wild. That said, the idea of a toku-obsessed actor and model trying to become a real-life Kamen Rider without any fighting prowess or athletic ability is a really fun premise. It starts as this beautiful and down-to-earth story of an idealistic guy who just wants to try and help stop injustice however he can. I almost wish the show kept that theme for the whole series, but I won't complain about where it goes. Masayoshi is a fantastic character you can't help but root for, and Goto is a great straight man fighting to keep this kid in line and from doing anything too stupid. I can't guarantee you'll like the show if you're not a fan of tokusatsu and superheroes, as a lot of the humor revolves around those shows' tropes, but it's still a very fun show. Just don't be surprised if you find yourself stopping after episode 6 or 7. One of the harbingers of the isekai apocalypse, Log Horizon is probably the one I've heard the most positive things about. That said, I didn't get to most of the positive things in the first couple episodes. Don't misunderstand me, I do like it, it's just most of the politics and world reconstruction stuff I hear about doesn't show up until further in. Will I watch it? Probably eventually, but I don't know if it'll be an immediate watch. I am a sucker for some good world building, emphasis on good, so I love the way they slowly learn about the limits and abilities they now have inside the MMO. Stuff like the moment someone was resurrected from death, characters immediately resorted to killing other players. Thus, I'd assume I'd enjoy the rest of the series, it's just not as immediately gripping as some of our other titles. Speaking of isekai, Outbreak Company is a name I've heard here and there. Once I started, I also remembered hearing about its premise. I mean, what otaku wouldn't want to be whisked away to another world and be paid to gush over their favorite series to a whole new culture of people? It's a wish fulfillment show, and there's nothing wrong with that. 'Cause it's my wish. I've spent 5 years of my life studying this. What I'm saying is that if you know a portal to another world that needs someone to teach them about Earth's pop culture, please hit me up. I really need a job, and that's about all I'm qualified for. Jokes aside, I obviously love the premise and could easily see myself talking about this show for another 45-minute video regardless of the quality of the rest of the actual series. Woo! What episode speed round? Diamond of the Ace. Yup, that's baseball. Kuroko no Basket Season 2. Yup, that's basketball. Yowamushi Pedal. Yup, that's cycling. Megane Boo. Yup, that's boys wearing glasses. And that's a sport I can get behind. This one is actually kinda funny. There's at least one gay character, and 2 glasses fetish shows in one season is honestly just spoiling me. Strike the Blood. What if Beyond the Boundary, but ugly? And boring. I don't know, it may get better, but I'm gonna go ahead and doubt that. Non Biori. Head empty. Only goo. It's very cute, and I will be watching it every time I need all stress eradicated from inside me. It's a vibe, and I'm here for every part of it. Diabolic Lovers. How can a show about a bunch of dudes trying to sleep with a girl still feel so gay? Maybe it's because I want to sleep with the boys. Yeah, that's probably it. Also, they're all vampires, which just makes them hotter. And they're holding her hostage, which just makes it hotter for me. Yeah. I have issues. And that's the end of our speed round. Do you know how hard it was for me to stop at 3 episodes? Golden Time was great, and not a one of you better tell me it gets worse. But hey, when the 3rd episode of a show's plot is, we accidentally joined a cult, I will always be sold. Golden Time is actually a show that Verve kept recommending to me, and I just never bothered to actually look at it because I thought it was going to be one of those working women shows, and I kept putting it off until the idea of a career didn't cause me internalized dread. But no, it's actually a college show, and a seemingly great one at that. The show balances this great sense of realistic characters that you'd likely meet in college with a subdued magical realism aspect that blends in absurd scenarios that provide an emotional sense for the kind of experiences you may have. For example, moving far away from all your family and friends, and making that having amnesia, or taking the feeling of trying to join a group of friends or a club that ends up being kinda weird and turning that into, they're a literal cult. This may just be the next show I finish, and don't be surprised if you see a video about it soon. And that's fall of 2013. Honestly, pretty stacked season. Not only was there a lot of stuff I'd already enjoyed, but lots more I finally looked at and desperately want to continue. If you see me talking about these shows in future videos or on Twitter, that's at SteveSekai by the way, don't be at all surprised. If there's any that you'd specifically like me to cover, please let me know. And what did you think about these shows? Are any of these personal favorites or forgotten nostalgia trips? Obviously, I didn't cover everything, so did I skip over a show you enjoy that you think I should check out? And if you're wondering why I didn't cover Gundam Build Fighters, the answer is simply,